In this video, I seek to answer the question, should Overwatch beginners be playing Illari? Illari. Eeyore. In my less than 1 year playing Overwatch, I can't say I've been learning in the most efficient way. I do 10 hours of playtime with one hero, and then I switch. But how do I pick? Apparently the best idea my underslept mind can come up with is to do a random hero generator. This previously led me to question major life decisions as I learned Sombra and documented it in my last video. This time I landed on Illari, so I spent the next 10 hours of playing time learning who I consider to be one of the most versatile heroes in the game. She's a healer, but she's a DPS, but like, she heals a lot, but she's kind of a DPS? I don't know. What is she? Well, like Zenyatta, she can do a little bit of both. Her pylon gives you the freedom to shoot at enemies while it does most of the healing you'll find in your stat line. You set it, and pay attention here, then you forget it. At least for now. You drop it and hop it. Get the point? Place the pylon back to Wylan. Put it on a wall, enemies will fall. Your healing as Illari is most effective when your pylon can see your teammates, but your enemies can't see your pylon. Which is why you gotta remember to find a place, shoot their face, put it down, and go to town. Set the cone and bring it home. Anyways, what was I making this video about again? Oh right, is she good for beginners? My answer is, it depends. I ended up coming to the conclusion that I wouldn't recommend her to anyone who has less than 50 hours in the game. And remember, this is a beginner's guide from a beginner. The reason I don't think she's good for beginners is because mastering pylon placement is quite a learning curve. I mean, you gotta locate E on your keyboard, look back up at your screen, look back down to see that that finger is still hovering over E, aim, and fire. That's tough. I recommend you play your first few hours of Overwatch with a different hero so you can get a sense of the game's ebb and flow. Your team loses a few heroes, so you have to back off. The enemy loses a few and you can start to push a little more. In these moments of transition, the Illari player needs to find a new and better spot for their pylon. And when you find the best possible spot for your pylon, the enemy team will eventually find it and destroy it, so you constantly need to be re-evaluating where the optimal place is. So maybe it's not quite a set it and completely forget it style. Illari may not also be an optimal choice for beginners if you don't have very good aim yet. I've never once in my life had good aim, so I'll leave this choice up to you. Oh my god. That's the other thing that, like, finally, Illari's ultimate feels very uncharacteristic. It's the only ultimate for any support that in itself does a lot of damage. I always joke that Symmetra and Illari should trade each other's ultimates because Illari's is more of a DPS ability and Symmetra's is more of a support ability. It's almost as if Symmetra was originally meant to be a support hero and then somewhere along the lines they changed it. I don't know, I started playing in 2023. Anyways, just because you activate Illari's ult doesn't mean you have to use it immediately. Wait until enemies are clustered so you can hit multiple targets. Or don't. You can just solo ult in the name of self-preservation or to get back at the person who's been targeting you all game. That's fun too. All in all, I think a good Illari is a solid asset for any team. When your team needs more damage, she'll supply it. And when your pylon can't get all the healing done, just right-click like nobody's business. And then when you win, let the enemy team know that Illari is a perfectly balanced hero who has never irritated anybody since the day she got released.